The Pirate's Treasure is a Spanish story. Once upon a time, in a small village on the beautiful coast of Spain, lived a young sailor, José. José always had big dreams. His dream was to cross the sea and find the legendary pirate treasure. The treasure is said to have been hidden hundreds of years ago by the fearsome pirate Balthazar, and no one knew its location. One day, José heard from an old sailor in an old tavern in the village. "If you find a pirate's treasure, I'll tell you one thing. The treasure is hidden in the cave of the Black Island. However, in order to get there, you must overcome a number of trials." Believing his words, José immediately began preparing for the voyage. He got an old map and prepared a ship. We also decided to take Pedro, José's best friend and a skilled cook, on board. The two crossed the sea, read the wind, and continued sailing for days. On the way, they encountered a raging storm and the ship was at the mercy of the waves. Huge waves shook the ship, and José and Pedro desperately took the helm to keep the ship safe. However, José's heart never wavered. He believed in his dream and kept going. And finally, the Black Island appeared in the field of view. As the name suggests, the island was surrounded by dark and rugged rocky mountains, and had a somewhat eerie atmosphere. José and Pedro landed on the island and began to search for caves. The entrance to the cave was hidden in the rocks and it was not easy to find, but José's intuition guided him, and he was finally able to find it. Inside the cave, countless traps were set. José proceeded with caution on his feet, and Pedro supported him from behind. Suddenly, the floor collapsed and the two of them fell off, but they managed to cling to the floor without falling by a hair's breadth. They helped each other and finally reached the depths of the cave. There was a huge golden box enshrined there. The box emitted light, and José's eyes were drawn to the treasure. But in that box, the final test awaited. Standing in front of the box, the ghost of Balthazar suddenly appeared. "Do you deserve this treasure?" the ghost said in a low-sounding voice. José answered bravely, "We have overcome many trials to find this treasure. That's why I believe you deserve this treasure." The ghost was silent for a while, but then smiled and said, "I thank you for your courage and honesty. The treasure is yours." With these words, the box opened, and shining gold coins and jewels overflowed. José and Pedro carefully loaded the treasure onto the ship and returned to the village. On the way back, the two exchanged smiles, feeling the beginning of a new adventure. The villagers welcomed the two, and José and Pedro used the treasure to enrich the village. José then became a village hero and went on many adventures with Pedro, but the legend of the pirate treasure lived on forever. End.